The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Good afternoon, traders. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week. Welcome. We're already at the tail end of February, though we get an extra day this year, a leap year. Very exciting. Market is kind of easing into a lull, which, if you follow the cyclical pattern, and we do, this is something that we're not considering unexpected at all. My market posture remains bullish, but it has eased, and I am actually working off of a hedge signal right now. Anybody else got that going on? It's still in place. We'll see. Hello, LK. Good to see you. Good afternoon, Fred. I'm just yapping away, letting stragglers get in on time, but let's officially get going. Welcome to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options. My name is Scott Beck. I'm the head trading coach here at Tradespoon, and I will be your host. All right. Well, let's get going. Got out of some hedges yesterday and today. Okay, took some profits. Ricardo, good to see you. Since December 7th of last year, got into crypto. It's been great. Concentrated on ICOs. Okay, the crypto market swings with Bitcoin. It is hugely correlated. So if Bitcoin's doing well, everything tends to do well. And when Bitcoin does poorly, everything tends to do poorly. You can find some outliers here or there. So, yeah, I'm not surprised because what's happened? Bitcoin's done well again. It goes through these cycles. So there you go. All right, good to hear. Okay. Good afternoon, Koo. Good to see you. This is my background. Trading for a number of years and teaching for lesser, but still a good number of years. These are the disclosures. Be careful out there. Okay, let's get into it. Let me move this out of the way. And here we go. So we opened down. We were holding our ground. And then possibly coming from the release of the Fed minutes. If you look at the SPY, because it's now drifting below this trend line that I wanted to hold. Now, here's the good news. Does anybody want to guess what I'm going to say is the good news for an extra gold star? There's an extra gold star just sitting on the chart waiting for. You can say it in one word. One word. Anybody want to take a stab? It's an early quiz show. It's a very valuable solo gold medal. What, when I look at this chart, do I think, oh, but luck, LK, winner, winner, chicken dinner, volume. We are in the midst of assessing the sellers in the selling cycle. The sellers have the floor. How much strength do we attribute to them? Friday, selling day, average volume. Monday, nope, Monday was closed. Tuesday, gap down, selling day, average volume. Wednesday, down. Look at that volume. That's the sellers. That's the sellers. Yes, we're a little below this. I can adjust. I can adjust this very easily. I mean, let's be honest. Which one is it? This one? I could move this and move up, move this, and all of a sudden and then I'd come in here and I'd move this and I'd get up like here and bring this down. And now I have my new trend that I think, oh, look at that. I just needed to make an adjustment and we're still actually quite fine. And you might think that's cheating, Scott. No, it's not. I might just leave it there now. I kind of like the way it looks still because that's representative of what's going on with this volume. Average 73 million, currently 33 million. That's the sellers. We're not. Eventually, everyone's going to start noticing. Probably should actually move that back. I'm going to leave it for now. Okay, volume. There's no sellers here. There's no like, oh man, what's going on? However, let's kind of inventory through our normal routine. We got a few things to look at. Oh no, I was going to look to see where's my. Let's get inside here. Right there. That's when the minutes got released. The minutes came out and you can see we dipped. Boom. Tried to bounce. It's dipping again, but it's okay. How's everybody feeling? I feel fine. I feel fine. There's the quiz. A, B, C. C, it's got to close at new lows. That's down at 494. 494. A, it's got to get above 494.60. 494.60, basically above this high. A. B, it's between 494, 494.60. Give me your answers. Ricardo first, he said A. He's bullish. I think we're going to bounce, but I don't know that we're going to hold the A territory. I'm going to go B. I'm going early today. I'm a B. Everyone's a little slow today. Come on, where's my answers? There we go. C for Fred. Now they're coming in strong. C for Fred. A for LK. C for John. C for Koo. I'm the only B right now. Solo gold medal coming my way. Let's see what Stella thinks. Let's just jump. I'm changing the order today, man. I'm just like going off the cuff. What? Stella says, oh, look at Stella. She's in agreement with me, I believe. At 2 p.m. It's like the first time it's been right in forever. 494.43. 494.43. No, Stella's here. 494.43. Stella's with me. She's a B. Me and Stella. Me and Stella are going for B. Solo gold medal. Everyone else is an A or a C. Best of luck, everybody. Window is closing. Let's get back out of here. Okay. So the quiz is rigged. Of course it is. And yet you have to keep playing. Look at that. The trend is rigged. Okay. What's going on today? Well, I mean, you can see what we've been reacting to. Let's go back to Yahoo Finance. NVIDIA earnings, to face AI growth reality check. We've seen some adjustments. SMCI had quite a little adjustment. Everybody's watching NVIDIA very, very closely. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we're still in watch and see mode with it being a sell day today. And certainly it could be the calm before the storm. And tomorrow we could sell off a little bit more. There's plenty of room for a sell-off. Let me just, first of all, not a sell-off, a consolidation. I am fine all the way back to, the 50-day, to be fair. Consolidation, a correction, 10%, that's way down here. I don't think we're there, right? I think we may not see a correction until after a spring rally. This still looks like we have plenty of bullishness in front of us. Now, did I hedge again? Yes, hedged here. Hedged here on this date. We'll look at that for sure. Now, if you look at just a consolidation, let's say 3 to 5%. 3 to 5%. That would be, let's say, 25 to, let's see, no, $50, $25. We'll say 15 to 25. 15 puts us at 485. 485, that's 3%. That's a 3% consolidation from the high, and that's right on top of the 50-day. That's 3%, no problem whatsoever. 5%, that's a little worse. That puts us down here around 475. That puts us getting below the 50, but still, still overall in an okay place. So even if we do pull back further, which based on this volume, I think either A, it's just everybody's building up tons of expectations around what else is going on? Closed your hedge tomorrow, up or down. NVIDIA holds the keys. I agree. NVIDIA holds the keys. That's very much likely true. So, Fed worried about cutting rates too soon. That's what the minutes said. So, still bullish for sure. Of course, we're still bullish. We're broad. Everything lines up for bullish for sure, right? That's where people who are like, oh, is it maybe? Relax. We'll see it happen. It's right. Let me see if this is up to date. We are now sitting in a situation where it's about 15 to 1. There's really no expectation, even though the March meeting is still a month away. There's no that's a month from today. No expectation, right? We go to May, and we're almost to a 2.5 to 1 against. It was under 2 to 1 this morning. Now, after getting the Fed minutes, it's now 2.5 to 1 against. So these are still adjusting. These are adjustments being made to the Fed not cutting until June. Well, it's not that bad. If that's the adjustments we're making, it's not that bad. That's not a bad adjustment to saying, hey, you know what? We're going to be in this same environment from an interest rate standpoint until June. We're not going to get help from the Fed till June. That's what we're saying here. Now, who does that impact the most? Of course, it's small caps. Small caps by nature, but does that look like it's breaking down, or does that look like it's going to hold above the 50 at yet another higher low? Right? So we got a little hot, and everyone's like, you know what? The Fed is not going to cut in March. Adjustment. But it might do soon. Adjustment. And we still, every time we adjust, we're still adjusting where? And in line with this overall. So as long as this holds up, then the adjustment's in, and we still look bullish. So as of now, I would love to have to hurry and shut down my hedges. I think we all agree NVIDIA could be a disruptor. I think it's not guaranteed, but it could be a disruptor. Well, if it does, we'll see if it's isolated to the NASDAQ or if it's a little bit more pervasive across everything else that we see, right? So that information coming out today after market, but I got to tell you, for me right now, everything's holding up. And now let's go look at the VIX, because the VIX has been interesting as well. See, we had this period where it looked like it was escalating, but it never got too bad. And then all of a sudden we got this. The problem is it didn't follow through, and we had a higher low there. I hedged, took a little profit off the table in this area, and I still have the other part of that. And then what? And now we hedged again, right? Another hedge. So that next hedge is on now, and things are pulling back. So there is, sorry, not there. That's wrong. It was yesterday. Apologies. I don't want to be misleading. Okay, let me just correct it. So it's not that. It's actually this one. It was close. It was close, but it didn't trigger there. But early yesterday, right? Early yesterday, it was triggered, and here we are now. Well, I would love if this thing stops right here. Same high. The same high would be great, not getting above 16. And then we pull back. And then if it comes up and gives us a lower high, even better still. Where would that lower high end up occurring according to this? Somewhere around, I don't know, March 7th or 8th or so, somewhere in that range. Why am I pointing that out? Bear with me. There's a narrative here that we're finding. Now we go to the research, the cyclical chart. Yes. And we say, what tends to happen from right now, February, end of February, or February 21st, around this area here, and March 7th or 8th, which is around this area here. What do we tend to see? Down to sideways, right? But then what happens? Well, then we have this very strong period of time from around the second week of March until late April. Very bullish in there. So am I going to be surprised if we have a little bit of sideways here for a week or so? No. Is it going to maybe have to work its way out of that? Yes. Can I still find bullish trades for this little window of bullishness right in here? Yeah, of course I can. And I'm going to try to. Absolutely. So this all fits actually quite well with the broader scope of what we see. I think it looks great, honestly. So, okay, let's get back to the last thing we want to do here is S&P. Okay, Stella has it a little more sideways where she says it doesn't look like the sellers are going to do anything, but she doesn't give much credit to the buyers yet. I think that will change pretty rapidly. At a certain point, here's the QQQ, always the concern. Stella always sees things a little bit more exasperated in the Qs, but that actually looks very similar. So just a little bit of indecision right now, that's what we tend to see for the next 7 to 10 days at the end of April. Absolutely. Let's go look at the IWM. So what does that mean? Are you trading less? Probably. I am. I'm not looking to force a bunch of trades right now. Well, based on what? What do you see? A few trades here or there, managing. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a few bullish trades on. Maybe you do have a hedge. Maybe you're still looking for some bullish trades. There's nothing really. Is anyone trying to trade bearishly? Like I don't see it. If so, Stella's quite bullish on the IWM, small caps, very bullish. And then we look at DIA. Neutral, bullish. And the one bullish is on what? Small caps. The ones most sensitive to the Fed, small cap is looking to price. And it got a little overheated. It's still kind of calming down a little bit, but certainly for us to evaluate this market as strongly bullish, we definitely want small caps to be participating. We want small caps, technology leading. We want the market to be broad. Right now, we have 6 sectors. We have the leaders, technology and communication services, very strong. Meta definitely setting up for a trade right now. So we'll look at that here in a minute. We have financials, very strong. Industrials, very strong. We have consumer discretionary that moved back into a position of strength. That's the 5th. And we have healthcare. That's the 6th. 6. It's amazing. And consumer staples are steady in a bullish. The tide is up. These are the market. Not be like questioning it. At least not yet. I'm looking for signs. We haven't seen the VIX really above 15, 16, more than a small period. So institutions are in line. Okay. Fabulous. Let's go look at the SPY one more time, and then we're going to go through our watch list. My watch list. Ours. We share it. Okay, so there's the SPY. And it is holding up. It's coming off the lows a little bit. Again, that's representative of the sellers. This is day 3 of sellers. What does that tell you about the sellers? Do you look at that and say, man, whew, the sellers are just everywhere. They're not going to be leaving anytime soon. Or do you look at that and say, my God, those sellers are just gasping for air. There's nobody, they have nothing to overwhelm. And so certainly, again, NVIDIA, possible disruption. But other than that, looking for a bounce. Okay. Let's get to the watch. Give me your take. What do you think? Am I off? What's Vlad doing with you? You guys have any trades going there? Little bit of concern from what? Number one, that we did kind of double top a bit here. We hit this high, new high, pulled back, tried again, boom, couldn't get through. Second try. That second try makes this a now more well-established resistance level. One try, 2 tries, oh, now you're talking about something there. So it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to get through that. Because I used to draw a pattern almost exactly like this in a live class. And I would say, what is this pattern? And someone would say, that's a double top. So I'd say, yeah, okay, double top right there, right? It's a terrible line. Let me redraw that. I'm going to cheat and use my, there, look at that perfectly straight line. I'd say, oh, double top. What are the implications of a double top? I'd say, oh, that's a potential reversal pattern, double tops. This. Now what? Now I have an ascending triangle. Ooh, fancy. An ascending triangle. What kind of a pattern is that? That is a continuation pattern, which would mean you think it's going to do what? Go up. Okay, so what does this mean to us now? It means it's either going to go up or down. You're welcome. I'll be here every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, full of good analysis. It's going up or down. Okay. Which one is it? Well, it's neither, actually. It's the top right here. And it's not a double bottom unless it breaks. Now, more aggressively, you might put the pattern here because that's the point below in between the two. So if it breaks below that, then that completes the double top. And then we would say, oh, that's definitely now, that's what's hard for that is I said I would actually be okay with it coming all the way back here near the 50. So I don't know that I would look at that and be like, oh, now that's a double top. I'd be like, okay, still part of the consolidation. We still haven't dropped more than 3% yet. So that's why I'm not really all that keen to call that a double top. And because I'm bullish. I'm bullish. If you keep track of my scoring, I'm a 6.25. 6.25 is high. I pulled back a little bit this week. Why? Because I had a little surge in the VIX and because the volume dropped off a little bit. And there's a good chance the volume is actually going to drop again, even though the volume is light, but likely it's going to drop a little bit more. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Overall, I'm bullish. So even if I see what would be considered like potentially for some technicians a confirmed double top, I'm actually going to disregard it. So again, part of what I believe would be a consolidation. Questions? Let me know. Thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I feel like I'm soapboxing, but I want to be dialoguing here. So give me your take. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Are you trading more, less, the same? Are you still assessing regularly to ask yourself, are you over trading, just to make sure that you're not? What's the answer to that question? How do I know if I'm over trading? If you don't know for a fact that you're not over trading, you probably are. Right now, be like, no, I'm good. I don't have a lot of positions on. Blah, blah. What's the reason behind it? Right? Make sure your risk management is adjusting to these market conditions. All right, let's delete this and go through the watch list now. That was exciting. I appreciate that. I'm trading just right. Love it. Love it. Trading just right is exact. That's a professor answer. The professor says trading logically, rationally, disciplined, following the rules, even keeled, balanced just right in the flow. You're with the current, everything's going the way it should, in the flow. The professor is at the computer, and the chimp is locked up in the cage taking a nap. That professor and the chimp. Okay. TED Talk. There you go. Love it. And you can see, look at us. Look at this doji. We're pushing up into the A territory right now. Can it hold, or is it going to settle back down? We'll see. Let's get to the watch list. So quiet. You guys are so quiet today. Why is everyone so quiet? We should be enjoying this more. Apple, is it viable? I say yes. It's pinching. It's holding at a higher low. I say it's still. And hey, if we're gonna take a stab with the market leader, right? Maybe I can get in before around 183. Stop loss 180.50, 2.5. 2.5. Can I get a 190 target? That's 7 on 2.5. I think I could get real close to a 3-to-1 on Apple. AIG looks real close as well. Look at this. It got through its earnings, pulled back, sitting right on top of the 50. Last time we were sitting on top of the 50, it was a great time. Stochastics is in a good place. All we need to do is see the buyers come in. That's in a fine place right there. AMD, I'm a little more iffy on AMD. Not yet there. Everything now. Here's the deal. The market, has a small chance of having a dependency on NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA being a disruptor. AMD has an enormous chance of NVIDIA being a disruptor. So whatever happens with NVIDIA will be distributed and felt. It will feel the aftershocks, right? AMD will feel the aftershocks. Facts. Amazon. Amazon it's maybe not quite there. We're still, this is why we tend to wait for confirmation. We're still in this kind of a flaggy type zone. This is sitting down low. What do we want? We want to be convinced. We want this to turn. We want to see a nice bigger candle. This might be one where you decide you're going to wait for a Heiken Ashi to show up. It will, and that might be the go sign. You might see this is where we are now, followed by this next, and that's your go. Okay, it's close. It's very, very close. I think there's plenty of, look at this. I mean, already we're in the A's, and we already have like 3 things setting up. 4, Amazon or AXP, financials are strong, pulling back. This thing could pull all the way back to 200, and I'd still be like, yeah, I like it. It's above the 50. It's strong. Sometimes you see little hiccups like this one was a little hiccup like here, and then it goes a little higher, then it pulls back. Boeing, nothing there. We'll keep watching it because it's interesting, but there's nothing there. BLDR looks strong. What's the problem? Reporting earnings. Otherwise, I'd be thinking that's ready for a go. BX getting close. Financials pulling back. We got this one weird volume day. See how you can't see the volume here? Watch this little trick. I'm going to zoom in like this. Bam. Now I have volume. We just had to get rid of that weird outlier. What's the volume telling me? It tells me that this sell-off is running out of steam very, very quickly. Citi. I'm holding this one, actually. I'm in it. I'm holding this one. You can see why. It's still just sitting on this line. And you can see that the last couple of bullish trades, it drifts a little under the line and then takes off. Drifts a little under the line and then takes off. I don't want to get impatient. If it drifts a little under and then takes off, I'm going to let the pattern prevail. Caterpillar. Maybe trying to hold up. It had a bit of a false start, but maybe it's going to try again. We'll see. We'll see. Capital One. Interesting action based on the news that they're trying to buy Discover DFS Financial. Gap down yesterday, rallied the entire day, right back where we were. Bull call on Citi. Love it, John. Beautiful type of a trade. Love it. COP. Nah, there's nothing in oil for me yet. Costco. Ooh, Costco. A little bit of a false start possibly here. To an end. It's not a loser. In fact, I believe it's still up a little bit. It just doesn't look like it's going to get going here. So there you go. Come on, Costco. You can do it. CrowdStrike. I was out back here. It was correlated to somebody's earnings. It's got these. I need to see a higher low from here, right? I can't just like, oh, I'm going to jump in. CSX looks like the selling cycle is almost over, but they didn't do anything. So I think CSX looks bullish. Railroads coming out of the industrial sector. I'm keeping an eye on DAL for airlines and DHI for home builders. And they both look very lackluster for now. So keep watching. Nothing to trade. Was it Palo Alto? Thank you, Koo. He said PANW earnings. So Palo Alto earnings sucked CrowdStrike down. Makes sense. Thank you for the info. Yeah, the Dow looks fine, let's be honest. Ford. Right? I believe it's setting up. And that looks very close and ready to go. Fastenal, nothing really there. GBTC, so Bitcoin since December. Are we going to be surprised if there's a consolidation? No, but it definitely looks bullish. 100%. I agree with you. GE, look at the correlation between GE and Bitcoin. So bear with me on this, okay? I'm thinking of starting a podcast, a conspiracy theory podcast, and I want to start with this one. It's an Illuminati that are on the board of GE who control Bitcoin, and that's why they're interconnected. It's a working theory. There's something there. I believe there's something there. Let me know your thoughts, but I don't know. I'm thinking of turning conspiracy theories into a hobbies. Where do I come up with this stuff? Facts, my working knowledge of the Illuminati and the New World Order. all that good stuff. Gold. Nah, nothing there. Google, I'm rooting for it. But it's all the way back to the old low. That's tough. That is tough. You know what's funny is Ricardo asked, what could be the effect of Trump for the end of 2024? When we get to an election years, really the main thing is certainty. And it's very interesting because as we get closer to elections, I inevitably in a heartbeat can see people's political leanings based on comments that come in. But the market actually has a tendency to be agnostic to the candidate, but just simply bullish to the fact that we had an election successfully and somebody was elected. It's times when, like, if you go look at like January 6th, there was some shakiness there. If you look back when there was a Bush and Gore and it was lawsuits, the market was shaky during the lawsuits. The uncertainty hurts the market. It's certainty that tends to do well. So anyway, interesting little tidbits. There's Google. 8 of 10 election years. That sounds about right. Yeah. The two are probably times when there were election uncertainties. One of those is probably Bush Gore for sure. Google, I think it's viable if you wanted to take it. It's bouncing. It's a support level. It's not a high or low. It's falling off. I'm about to bounce it from the watch list. Intel say we'll trade the small cap bounce if it catches at or above the 50. I'm definitely going. Team A is winning, Ricardo, but doesn't win yet. Okay. Team A wins. We'll see. JP Morgan overextended, but looks bullish. Las Vegas Sands pulling back, but maybe stabilizing. There could be something developing there. Meta. Oh, Meta. Look at that. Beautiful setup developing. Drifting down on decreasing volume. Trend is intact. Strong earnings announcement recently. I like what I sees. Microsoft. I likes what I sees. Nice stability developing at or above the 50. I think we're close. There's plenty of things that I think are looking just fine here. Right? Just fine. What else? I hate. So, okay. If you're a Thinkorswim user, I'm calling your help. I don't know if it's my keyboard and I need to replace my keyboard or my keyboard battery. But so maybe this is new for some of you. Let me move this over actually. So I keep the watch list here for this. And I want you to notice that is red 1. This is red 1. Okay. Now, if I click here to city, it goes to city. And if I click here, now, normally when I'm here, if I go click on the arrow keys on my keyboard, it toggles down. Boom, boom, boom. And I don't have to keep moving my mouse and clicking on the next one. I can just toggle down fast. But it's not working. It's not working with the can you still do that? I want to know if it's local to me or if it's universal to the platform. That's my ask. If anyone could help me solve that, because it's killing me. It slows me down in my webinars and in my trading. Anyways, that's my crying for a minute. Where were we? We were at Microsoft. Netflix is looking good as well. Communication services looking strong. It's expensive. Yeah, for sure. But it's as this pulls back, this volume's dropping off. Let's isolate this to get a little better picture as well. You can see that volume dropping off, getting ready for another bounce. Absolutely. Nvidia continuing its sell-off, waiting for today's news. We'll see it pretty fast, and then we'll see it reacting pretty fast. I mean, if the news is nasty, this thing could be down at 550 tomorrow. Or it could jump back up to 750. We'll see. This is crazy. Now, the volatility is extremely high. A lot of people buying options around this earnings, which means the market makers are going to drop that vol, probably 15, 18 points. And we went from 49 to 37. We went 12 points. I'm predicting 15 to 18 point drop on implied volatility on the open tomorrow. Car overextended QQQ. I think it looks viable and setting up, just like a lot of the things in there that we look at do. Meta, Microsoft, Apple, etc. Ross Stores, maybe. Consumer discretionary, SMCI. It's kind of has some exponential type movements, but if you think it might have, from an Elliott wave standpoint, I think we had 3 waves. Right? I think we had 3 waves. I would say that's wave 1, big bullish move, and then it pulled back. That's wave 2, bullish move, pulled back. And that was wave 3. Bam! And now what? Now I think we may have 2 waves down. If you're an Elliott wave technician, we'll see. We'll see. For sure. Look at that. I adjusted my line, and I probably didn't need to. I probably could have left it. I wish I would have left it now. I'm going to put this back the way it was. I'm going to put it back the way it was. Who said move your line in the first place? Put that underneath there. And this was up here a little bit more, I believe. Maybe it was like this. Move you down a little bit. And you can see, where is it? It's right at that line, holding the line. Hold the line. TPR. Overextended, but looks bullish. UNP, a little sideways, possibly rolling over. Those of you who closed your hedges, I like it. I think I might relieve a little pressure on mine now that it's not getting above 16 as well. Waste management, overextended, continues pushing. Walmart coming back down after earnings. We'll see what happens there. Real quickly, what do we have? Real quickly, what do we have? We have let me see. What is going on? Again, it's this damn keyboard. Basic materials. I don't know. They did kind of break out. We'll see what happens. Communication services still looks overall strong. Finally consolidating a little bit more than it has. Energy doesn't look all that strong, but it's moving today. Financials, bullish. Industrials, bullish. Technology, bullish and possibly setting up. Staples, stable. Utilities, we're not seeing surges in things like utilities and Staples. Staples has enough consumer in it that they're still here. Strong. Consumer discretionary, little, right? We broke out of this consolidation. Now we're kind of consolidating again, but overall it's still holding above its breakout. Yeah, so okay. You can see if we go back to our SPY, we are almost to positive. Look at that. Bam, 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 all the way back up. Well, we are positive for the day, meaning we're above where we opened, and we are almost back up to this level here where we stalled yesterday. We're at that level, actually. We're at that level now. So those are only 2. Ricardo and okay. Well done. Magnificent. B's, me and Stella. C's, I think things look fine. I'm looking for signals. We may have a false start type of a thing where we get a run and then it just doesn't get very far and pulls back. And that's kind of that getting ready to take off for March and April. I'm feeling bullish. I'm looking bullish. There's so many things that are connecting for that until something displays otherwise, which, look, I'm looking for it. I'm watching the small caps very closely because of their indications in things. I'm watching sector rotation very closely. I'm watching the VIX very closely. I'm not going to like convince myself to be like a head in the sand, continue looking for what I've been looking for. Okay, well, that's my story. And as you know, I am sticking to it. It's good to see everybody. What's next this week? I will get to hang out with you one more time. As always, God, look at that market go. Trying to break that level. I will hang out with you on Friday morning. Have your coffee in hand, your accounts open, as well as your minds open, and we will have a magnificent discussion on market characteristics, trading strategies, and all things trading. Friday's your birthday. Ricardo, happy birthday on Friday. Don't let me forget. Look at that. We're breaking out. A's definitely are winning. Definitely the A's. Smashing it today, A's. The buyers just right at the end coming back in. Love it. Okay. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you Friday.